is, so what I recommend you do is you first need to go and, so ideally what I would recommend you do is turn off, what does this say here? Oh, Henry's in there. Henry, did you make a copy of this? Did you make a copy of it? Remember, you don't want to be working in this one, so I'm just going to make my own copy of this really quickly here. Okay, so you need to basically make a sketch of the shape you want to export. So what I would recommend doing is turn off everything except for the shape you want to export, and turn off sketches. All right, so there you've just got the shape you want to export. So if I keep sketches on, the reason you turn off sketches is sometimes when I hover over this, so it is highlighted, and I right click, there's the option to create a sketch. Okay, the reason you want to try, so if I go create sketch, and then I'm just going to go finish sketch, and it will create the sketch up here in your sketches. Okay, so that is what you want to export. So what I would do right away, so if you use my the new file I gave you, each of the different parts of your clock is divided up into components, and all of the sketches that go with each component are inside there. So it should be easy to figure out which it is. If you didn't use that one, there might be a few more sketches in here. Either way, what you want to do is right click on it and rename it right away, right? So this is the clock ring, okay? Next step is to get it out of Fusion. So what you do is you right click on that and you save it as a DXF file, okay? And make sure you know where you're saving it to. So here, I'm just gonna, so this looks like it's saving it somewhere weird. So I'm gonna click on here, and I'm just gonna click on downloads. So now I know where it's saving it. Make sure you're paying attention to this. A lot of people can't find their files after because you're not paying attention to where you're saving it. So I'm gonna go to save. Now I'm gonna go to Adobe Illustrator. So you don't make a new file, okay? You're just gonna open that one. So you go File, Open, go to where you know it's saved, click on it, and then you should get this dialog box here, okay? Yours will probably say scale to fit. Be very careful. You do not want to scale it. If you scale it, it's changing the size. So you have to make sure you click original size, and this says that basically 1 unit in Fusion is equal to 1 unit in Adobe Illustrator. Make sure it says millimeters. Then you click OK. And then it will open it, and it will be the same size as in Adobe Illustrator. Okay? At this point, now you can start adding using the shapes and things in Illustrator to add whatever artwork or stuff you want. So every single part of your model in Fusion needs to get exported. So, for example, the hangers. Okay? I'm just going to go. So each of these hangers, I'm just going to go into my hanger component here. I'm going to turn off this last one, I think, right? So each of these, you're going to have to do the same thing. You're going to have to right-click, create a sketch. Now, and I'm going to call this hanger 1. Right? Now, of course, if you've got 3 shapes in here that you need, so I'm just going to go save as DXF. And we're going to call it hanger one. Okay. Now I'm going to go to Adobe, and I'm going to open that one up. So I'm going to go open, hanger one. So in it, and I'm just going to make sure I scale it so it's in its own, right? Now, the next step is you need to make a new file that is the one you're going to send to Conjip. So that is going to be a laser cutter sized file, right? A2. So we're going to use it's going to be 594 millimeters by 420. Has to say RGB. So now this is going to be the size of the laser cutter. So what I then do is I go and get all of my shapes, okay? And so you can see it looks smaller in here because it's a different sized work plane, right? And I want to try and make sure that I organize them so I can use up as little space as possible. Right, so there's the hanger. Now, if you need 3 hangers that are all this shape, you don't have to export 3 of them from a Fusion. You can just make 3 copies of this one, right? So that's kind of the process to get your work out of Fusion and into Adobe Illustrator. Does that make sense? So